Alicia dreamt that the sun was expanding, but in a kind of a 2D way. That's kind of funny. What is that about? So here's her dream. She says, I was home with family and looked outside when suddenly the sun started changing. It looked like the artistic version of the sun with rays coming out of it. It was like a 2D image and started spinning, and the sun grew longer. It was really bizarre, so I told everyone to close the blinds. Don't do that. My mother became anxious and started cooking. When she opened the pantry door in the kitchen, it revealed a long, ancient-looking corridor that reminded me of Spain or Morocco. I felt compelled to go down it, but was also fearful. Suddenly, a raven appeared in the corridor, and I knew he wanted me to follow him. Suddenly, my best friend, who died last year, began talking to me. Her voice was clear, but disembodied. I didn't see her in my dream. She asked me to tell her youngest son how much she fell in love with him the day he was born. After I received her message, I found myself partly down the corridor, then woke up. And she also says in her comments, during this time, my friend's son had just had a birthday. I also had been researching my family ancestry in the Canary Islands. I also recently added a framed art piece to my mantle of the raven myth from the Pacific Northwest of North America. All right, very good. And that's really important. I'm glad you told me that, because we all can override the meaning of a symbol in our dreams. And so if we've looked up something or have a special association with the raven, which you do, then it's going to be that for you. It's not going to be what anybody else says. So I looked this up, and here's what I got. In the mythology of many Northwest indigenous tribes, Raven is honored as a culture hero. He is a revered and benevolent transformer figure who helps the people and shapes their world for them. But at the same time, he is also a trickster character, and many Raven stories have to do with his frivolous or poorly thought out behavior. That's you. Causing trouble for him and the people around him. Okay, so what is the dream about? So you start off, you're at home with family. So it's about carrying family influence. We know it's about carrying your mom's influence because your mom is the one who shows up in the dream, and your mom becomes anxious and starts cooking. Well, let's look at the anxious. So you have anxieties connected to mom. So you need to work on the issues around mom. That's the whole premise of our dreams. They're going to show us an issue that we need to work on and who it's connected to. So anxiety connected to mom. And you talk about the sun changed to the artistic version of the sun, but you also say it's 3D. So I'm not going to say, okay, the artistic version is great, because 2D is not really reality. And the sun represents a hands-on healing ability. You have the ability to project energy into your clients and help their body to heal. That's what the sun does for us. It projects life-saving energy onto the earth plane and allows us all to live here. So it's a really good symbol, probably the most common symbol next to gold in dreams. And gold means hands-on healing because of the color. It's the same as the sun. But you say it's 2D, which means you don't really believe in this gift. And that's a pity. Now, we already have an idea of that, because when they grow longer and the rays stretch out, you tell people, close the blinds. So this is like you shut yourself down to this. But it may be worse. You probably also shut other people down to this, because you tell everybody around you in the dream to close the blinds, which you should never do. So you got to look at that, realize you have a hands-on healing ability. You say your mom also starts cooking, which is another hands-on healing ability. Feeding people represents the exact same thing. Nourishing people, giving them food and energy through the food. So we have two symbols there. And so you've had this from the start. But then she opens the pantry door and we see this long corridor. So when we see the food reference and then we see the pantry door, the dream is saying through healing, through working on being selective on the foods you eat, you're going to get to an ability that allows you to communicate with spirits. And the corridor actually represents a transition. But you say it's a long corridor. So you have to go through this period of transition that is going to allow you to communicate with spirits. That's something I teach people how to do in my courses. Everybody loves it, but it is a gift that people are often afraid of initially. You've got that ability, and the dream is encouraging you to do it. And when I looked up raven as well, the raven in many cultures is also was also used as a messenger from the gods. So it has that connection in the Northwest culture too, and that's what a channel does. They get messages from the gods or from the guides, or whatever way you want to put it. Terminology is all up to you. It's all based on your own religion and your own philosophy. And so the words that people use, like guides or angels, etc., don't let them put you off. It's all the same thing, just different terminology for the same thing. And you talk about then communicating with your best friend who died last year. So that's really good. So obviously that alone says that you can channel, because here you are talking to them. And they're disembodied, which is often how it appears in dreams. Guides themselves often appear disembodied. And depending on our acceptance or reluctance to communicate, it might be show up in a dream as, say, hearing a message over a loudspeaker, which is also a disembodied voice, which is also going to be your guides. So you're getting guidance in the dream, which is really good. That shows that you've got this ability, and you've had it in the past, because you say that this corridor was an ancient-looking corridor. So definitely you've had it before. And you said it reminded you of Spain or Morocco, which are both two very hot countries. And hot countries are also about healing in dreams, because they're hot because of the sun. That's why. And I love the message that she gave. Did you pass it on? I'm curious. Sometimes if I'm channeling and I get a message and I know the person isn't very receptive to the idea that I channeled and I'm going to pass something on to them, I will just say, I had a dream where your mom showed up and said this, which is exactly what happened for you. But I will often say it's a dream rather than channeling. And you can gauge the reaction from people then based on the message and how well they receive it. And you say, after you received her message, I found myself partly down the corridor, then I woke up. So it's good that in the dream you end up partly down the corridor. So it's like this transition has started. Corridors are good. They represent transition because they are not anywhere we stay. We just use them to get to wherever we're going. And you're already partway down it. So this transition has happened. You're going to start accepting that you're a healer and accepting that you're a channel. Whether that started or not, I don't know. You can write and let me know. But you've definitely got it, and are being encouraged in the dream to pursue it. And now that brings me to what else is on my webinar. The free one I'm running on June 16th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Dreams attempt to guide and heal you. When you follow their advice, the cumulative effect is truly transformative. Through the freedom you gain from working on the issues revealed in your dreams, you automatically begin to live the most positive and fulfilling life you could possibly live. It just happens. Your health improves. Your ex brings your old records and your dog back. It's just amazing. Now, I may have embellished this story for dramatic effect, but it is totally true that working on your dreams restores joy to your life, restores your health, restores serendipity, puts you in touch with your life purpose, unlocks your spiritual gifts, and tells you how to use them, and so much more. I share a story about this on the webinar. By working on these issues revealed in your dreams, you will find yourself in the right place at the right time for amazing things to happen in your life. Did you know that there is a right place and a right time? Well, there is. It's Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time on June 16th. Register at dream-analysis.com/webinar or by using the link under the clip or episode that you're watching now. Thank you for watching this clip from the Dream Interpretation Podcast. If you want to hear the whole show, there's a link directly under this video. Please like and share with your friends, all of your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast at thedreaminterpretationpodcast.com. That's also where you can submit your dream to the show and have yours featured. You can also download my free dictionary that has thousands of symbols that will help you understand the meaning of your dreams. Thanks for listening.